It's doubtful if a novelist of one race can ever really penetrate into the soul of another. And hitherto, the attempts to depict foreign characters from the inside have resulted in producing figures very much like Englishmen, the Englishman of the French farce, or the Frenchman of Punch. Even Meredith, James, and Trollope never completely achieved the trick, and their own racial characteristics peep disconcertingly through the ill-fitting disguise. But there is another way of catching the likeness of the foreigner, and that is in his idiosyncrasies. Are reflected in the minds of the novelist's characters, who are of the latter's own kin. This is a special field which the nomadic habits of modern life have thrown wide open to the American novelist. 30 years ago, in attempting this kind of reflected portraiture, he was hampered by the narrowness of the reflecting surface. The the traveling American of that day was almost always a mild dilettante en route for the Colosseum or the Chateau of Chillon, and his contacts with the indigenous were brief and superficial. Now, innumerable lengths of business, pleasure, study, and sport join together the various races of the world. The very novelists who still hug the Main Street superstition settle down in the Latin Quarter or on the Riviera to write their tales of the little suburban house at number at number 1,010,000 Volstead Avenue. And exploring is no longer one-sided. The same motives which send more and more Americans abroad now draw an annually increasing number of foreigners to America. The perpetual interchange of ideas and influences resulting on both sides of the globe in the creation of a new world, ephemeral, shifting, but infinitely curious to study and interesting to note. And yet, and as yet hardly heeded by the novelist, it is useless, at least for the storyteller, to deplore what the new order of things has wiped out. Vain to shudder at what it is creating there, whether for better or worse. In the American novelist, whose compatriots have helped above all others to bring it into being, can best use his opportunity by plunging both hands into the motley welter. As the merry person says in the prologue to Faust, wherever you see it, there it is interesting. Wherever you seize it, there it is interesting. If not in itself, at any rate as a subject for fiction, as a new opening into that full life of men, which is the proper theme of the novelist's discourse.